Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. If you're new here, today I'm going to be doing a chatty get ready with me and just putting on my makeup of the day. So I'm going to do my foundation, my eyes, lips, everything while I sit and have a little chat with you. So yeah, so if you want to put your makeup on at the same time or just hang out and get ready for your day while I get ready for mine, let's go ahead and do that together. Okay, so hair is going back. Okay. So today I want to talk to you about something that might be a little deep, or it might seem a little deep for just like your regular makeup chats. Let me go ahead and show you what eyeshadow palettes I am going to be using today. I'm going to be using my Makeup by Mario palette. This is the Neutrals matte palette. And for a little pop of sparkle, I'm going to be using my Vanessa Myricks Lightwork Volume. I'm going to be using my Vanessa Myricks Lightwork Volume 6 palette. Is it number 6? I really don't know. 5? I have no clue. Yeah, 6. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. Yeah. So, you know, I've been thinking about some stuff lately. I've really been in my feels. Like, I've really been in my head lately. I have been thinking about people and like, kind of like at a grand scale, but also like on a more individual, like personalized scale. You know, like people that, like, do you believe, hold on, let me find my concealer brush. Like, with all the things that have been kind of going down in my life lately, and not just lately, but like always, it really has me just thinking about people in general. You know, you hear the term or the phrase all the time, people don't change. A leopard never changes his spots, you know? But I feel like, and you know, sometimes I do feel like that. Sometimes I do feel like people don't change. And so it's like, you know, you either need to accept them for what they are or just like cut them loose out of your life, you know? But then there's like examples in life that I've watched from both other people and myself where I see that people sometimes do change. And, you know, sometimes these changes can be both like on a small scale, like just like daily kinds of habits or like ways that they approach life in general. Which also can indicate a change in like mindset or perspective. I feel like, you know, we do change very much from like one decade to the next. And so to say that people don't change is kind of not really accurate. But on the other hand, I feel like people really don't change all that much. You know, like, this looks like it might be a little bit too light for me right now. I'm using my most recent Shop My Stash. If you missed my Shop My Stash that recently went up, I will leave that down below in the description box. I'll also link that at the end of this video in case you want to watch it and see all the makeup that I'm choosing from for this week's Shop My Stash from my makeup looks. Anyway, I'm using my ABH foundation. Back to what I was saying. You know, let me give you an example. Like, for years and years and years, like as far back as I could remember, I was always the kind of person that, like, I was always the kind of girl that didn't like to wear the same purse every single day. And this might seem like a superficial change. And I mean, it kind of is, but it also just like indicates a deeper level of a change. You know, like if you scratch the surface and look beyond the surface level changes, plus the deeper like perspective or mental changes that I feel like that indicates. Like that those habits, okay, that those change of habits indicate. So anyways, the habit that I'm talking about is how I used to have to change my purse every day. And it really bothered me very much to have the same purse on from one day to the next. And I used to match like my purses to my outfits. Like, not just like the style of the purse, you know, like an evening bag for an evening occasion. I mean, like if I'm wearing a pink dress, I would wear a pink purse, maybe like a different shade of pink, just like as an accent or something like that. Or like a purse that had a variety of shades in it, but had pink in it. And I would make it a point to change my purse from one day to the next. All the time. It got to like be to where it took up a lot of my time. And it wasn't something that like I really felt like I needed to do. It was just something that I enjoyed doing. And so I did it like all the time. And if you've been here on my channel for like since the beginning, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much. I love you so much for that. But if you've been on my channel since the beginning, you know that I used to very much change my purse regularly. And like my content was focused on purse content at that time when I first started my channel. And I used to change my purse based on where I was going, what I was wearing, and like what I needed to take with me, how long I was going to be gone, or whatever kind of event it might be. And yeah, like I used to really put a lot of thought into stuff like that. And I honestly never thought I would be the kind of person that didn't. And if you watched any of my older videos, you probably would have assumed that I never would have stopped approaching my purse styles or whatever in that manner, but I have. I really hate the idea of changing out a purse now. Like the whole idea of having to take the time to switch my purse out and if like change it to something else, I just like, I don't see the point. I can't understand. I can't even get into the same mindset that I used to have when that was my approach. And I never thought I would feel like that. You know, I thought I would always be like a handbag addict, so to speak. But I was able to break myself of that handbag addiction, so to speak. And I mean, I still love handbags, don't get me wrong. I really, really do. But like, I'm not obsessed. And it's just a purse to me now. It's just an object that I use to like carry my belongings and get my stuff from one place to the next. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot about my bronzer down there. I am so bad about doing that. I will forget to blend in my bronzer on the sides of my cheeks so often. Anyway, do you see how beautifully that Dibs Beauty bronzer and blush like blended in? It just blends in so easily and lovely. It's like almost it's user friendly and it's almost fail proof. That's what I was going to say. That's what I was trying to say. Like it just blends so easily. And I think it's because of whatever like oils they have in it. It's just really creamy. And thankfully, whatever oils they used in it didn't break me out. But I do really, really love the tones on my current tan level. Just wanted to share that while I was noticing it. But anyways, back to the discussion about like, do you feel like people can change? I feel like, you know, most people say that people don't change. And that's why, like, for example, you want to always advise your friend to give up on her cheating man, because the odds of him changing his ways are slim to none, typically speaking, you know? And so it's like, hold on, let me find my brush. Okay. So the odds of, like, for example, your man changing his ways, his wicked ways when you're having problems with them or whatever, are slim to none. And so, you know, you're gonna err on the side of, no, I know people don't change, and it's better to leave that person, you know, than to think that things are gonna get better. Okay, so that's kind of like the example that I'm giving. But then on the other hand, you know, some people really do change based off of, I don't know, something happening to them in their life that like opens up their mindset and kind of like helps them change their perspective or whatever. And so it's like, I don't know. I feel like people do change, and you know, maybe they don't change like when we want them to change or whatever, but I feel like the possibility is there because, again, I've changed so much and stuff like that. I don't know. And the reason I'm getting at this is because I feel like the people that I've known for so long in my life are different now. I've noticed that people are just really different, and I'm not too happy about it. I don't like the changes that I've seen in the people that I'm like noticing or whatever. And so I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out, like, is this like a permanent shift? Is it just some sort of like a psychotic break? Like a change in mentality that's possibly temporary? Or is it like a new direction that these people are heading in? And if so, like, why? Why the sudden change in approach or whatever? I mean, I don't know. I find it hard to believe that literally all these people in my life that I counted on, trusted, thought I knew, and were in agreement of certain expectations on how things were going to flow back and forth between us. I just find it strange how all of a sudden all of these people have just changed on me, like almost all on the same day. Today I'm going to be using, this Makeup by Mario lip kit for the first time. I'm going to go ahead and do my lips now before I keep on going with like powder or cream products, because I just don't like the way that my lips look with foundation on, because you can see like my dark freckles and stuff. And when the rest of my face doesn't have predominant freckles going on, I just feel like it looks weird that you can see my lips with freckles. Okay, so here is the little kit. Here is the little kit that I got from Sephora. Excuse me. Here is the little kit that I got from Sephora for my birthday. I think this was the June kit. I didn't give them my real birth date. I never sign up with my real information on accounts. I always give fake information because like people don't need to know my info. That is a very pigmented and very creamy lip liner. More creamy than the ABH, that's for sure. A little bit creamier than the MAC. Not quite as creamy as the Natasha Denona's. Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about the color either, but okay, now from what I remember about these like weird lip things is that you got to be careful how much you open it up because they don't go back down. But okay, here we go. Here goes nothing. This is my first time to use this. Oh, I didn't elevate it enough. There we go. Oh, goodness. That's very, very glossy and goopy. Ew. Oh my God. I do not like this. It looks beautiful on my lips, I will admit, but ooh, you can see, look. Gross. You see that? I might have just used too much. Let me try to just wipe a little bit off. That did help a lot. So once you blot, it's not quite as goopy, but it's got just like a little bit of a cooling effect, like a slight tingly effect. I didn't know this was supposed to be a plumper. Yeah, I didn't know that. Anyways, glad I got to try those products. I'm also glad that I didn't pay for them. Okay. Let me add something for my eye base and we'll get started with the eye look. I'm going to be using my Urban Decay Anti-Aging Eye Primer. Maybe I should have like shaken it a little bit, but this is that Real Techniques Cherry brush from the Cherry collection. I really, really like this brush. It is so soft. I almost bought a second set when I saw it go on clearance, like before I started my no-buy, just so I could have another one of these and the one that I like for highlighter, because the one for highlighter, I also like it for setting my under eye. Anyways, I'm so glad I got that little set. It's so cute. I love the colors, but the brushes are actually really good. Okay. Sorry that I had to slurp. I do that when I'm trying to not get the coffee onto my makeup. Okay, let's get started with the eye look. I'm going to create just a really pretty neutral base, and then I'm going to pop into... I'm going to just create a fun neutral base with my Makeup by Mario palette, and then I'm going to pick a fun, pretty shimmer and add a little fun, sparkly moment. So let's see which color I end up picking, but to get started with the base, I'm going to just, okay, I'm going to just take a big fluffy brush into a nice light matte into the crease. This matte actually might be a little bit too light, but it's just kind of acting as like a setting powder or whatever for the primer, kind of like as an initial color just to lay down. Okay. That does give like a really nice soft barely there little moment. Next, I'm going to use this other BK Beauty that is a little bit more tapered. BK Beauty brush, I meant. And I'm going to go into this slightly deeper shade here. Shade number 6. I'm just kind of softly deepening up that outer corner a little bit, like really barely visible. Yeah, anyways, so do you have examples in your own life of where you've changed in ways that you never expected? And does that give you the sense that others can change too, and that others do change? Or do you feel like that's just, I don't know, an exception to the rule and people generally don't change, and that's where the saying comes, leopard don't change his spots? Let me know what you think. I'd be really curious to find out how you feel about that. Okay, I'm gonna take this really, really tiny little blender from the Angie Hot and Flashy set, and I'm gonna go into this darker shade here in the corner. I'm gonna just smoke out that outer edge a little bit more because I am getting excited to pick a shimmer shade and see what direction we're gonna go. Okay, I think that looks like a great base. And I want to just add a little bit of light and brightness in some of the other areas before I then go adding my shimmer, so that I don't really have to mess with the shimmer too much and get everything, you know, out of place in order to blend my mattes at that time. Now I'm just taking that first brush with no additional product, and I'm just going to kind of soften all of those edges together with that white, or like the off-white, the cream. And then with that same little brush, I'm going to take some of the peachy shade. I'm going to just put that. Maybe I should have done the white instead of the peach. Yeah, I feel like my light just went out. I hope you're going to be able to still see. I've been having signs that my ring light was going to go out on me, and it just did. It just went out on me, so I apologize for the change in lighting, and I hope you can still see, because I'm going to have to go get another ring light, and that's not going to happen right now before I finish this video because I'm doing my makeup for the day. So I'm going to just have to struggle through it. Okay. I do think that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to just do a little bit on the lower lash line with this slightly darker shade. This shade here is Mario's favorite out of the whole palette. Okay. Then with that same deeper shade, I'm going to just accentuate this outer edge where we created that little bit of smoke earlier. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. And honestly, hold on. I think all I need to do now is add a little bit of this black shadow. Right at the outer edge, just to accentuate my little like lash line right there. Okay. All right. Lastly, now it's time to hop into the Danessa Myricks palette. My first instinct is to use my finger, but I don't like doing that with makeup. So I'm gonna get a shimmer brush. I'm gonna use this rougher lid shader, and let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and just do this shade here. Ooh, I should probably do some glitter glue. It's a great time to use some glitter glue. Just gonna apply it with my finger. I need to kind of work quickly because this stuff likes to dry. Okay. Here's that shade. Let's see how this looks. I hope you can see in this dark lighting. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. God, this shade is gorgeous. I do not use this palette enough, but that's why I'm not buying the new one. I have zero temptation to buy the newly released Danessa Myricks palette, which I have to admit is a little shocking because I do really enjoy this palette and I think it's so beautiful, but like I don't need to be paying that price for more sparklies when it also comes with mattes, and I've got plenty of mattes, and like I've got plenty of sparklies, you know? I don't need a slight difference in shade just because she released it. I mean, I've barely even used these, you know? So I decided that instead of be tempted by the new one, I am going to just continue to get use out of the one that I have in my collection. So, oops. So that's what I'm doing. Just using my palettes and enjoying what I have already. Okay, I absolutely love the way that that looks. I want to find a shade to put towards the front. And I think I'm going to do this light lilac right here. Oh, it's like a pretty light peach, like a pink. No, it's like a pretty lilac shimmer. That was perfect. Look at how that finished that out. Which one was it? This one. Yep. Perfect. Wow. Yeah, and honestly, I want to just see what that one does if I tap it onto the other one too. So let's just add a little bit. I'm going to use that first shader and just flip it over. and just add some of that sparkly here on top. Oh, it kind of like brightened up that purple some. Took out the cool tone and brought out more of the like warmer shades of it. Okay. I don't want to get too carried away and overpower the look by adding too many sparklies at one time. So this is going to do it. I'm going to go off screen and add some finishing touches, and then I'll be right back to show you the completed look for the day. Okay, friends, here is the finished look. Here is the finished look with my Danessa Myricks palette. Hopefully you can see the sparklies even though I lost my ring light. Let me know what you think of the look. I love the way that it turned out. I really love this palette and I'm so content with it. I love it so, so much that I don't even feel the need to buy the new one. No shame to you if you're going to buy the new one. Let me know down below if you have already gotten it, if you have already purchased it, or if you've got it on your wish list. I'd be curious to know. And yeah. That's going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed, be sure to click the like button. It really does help my small channel out so much. Be sure to click the like button. It really does help my small channel out so much. And it lets the YouTube algorithm know that you want to see my content in your feed. Make sure you're subscribed before you go, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.